There we go. Kimberly is on YouTube. Hey. Hey. Hey, everybody. All right. Let's get it started, shall we? So, today, December 6th, 2022. What's on tap, right? We got, what's the S&P 500 doing, all right? We talked about seasonality last week. Get a big pullback this week after Jerome Powell talk. So, let's go through what I see, what we got going on, what I expect next, right? Then, of course, what's on my mind. And then we'll talk about your stocks, your requests, as always. So, kicking her off, if you are brand new here, make sure to let me know in the chat, either in Zoom or on YouTube, and I'd love to welcome you. So, while I'm waiting for anybody new, let's do the disclaimer. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation is intended to be informational, educational, and fun. Is not a recommendation to buy or sell any financial instrument. If you desire personal financial advice, go hire and consult a financial advisor. So, all right. Let's jump in on some market outlook here. Pop out of here, pop into here. And let's kick it off with, you know what? Save that and pop up my simple S&P 500 chart. So right over here, added some big red arrows. All right, we got to break up through here. Now we came up really close. We didn't quite get there. And we have pulled back all the way down this 39.50 area once again. So we've been there. Found a little resistance get up through, and we consolidated there once, twice, and now we're at that 3 times, my lady. So what's going to happen? Well, if we can't break out, we've got to break out over that purple line. Where's the purple line come from? Well, if we zoom out just a little bit, it's the same level that I've been harping on YouTube since August. Right here, when we roll, I drew this big red arc, and we rolled over. 39.50 was my warning. We broke that. Lower low was likely. Now, that's not still the case. Like 39.50 is just this support resistance zone right now where we keep consolidating. And the warning level right now is going to be down here. If we break back through, let's say 36.70-ish. We break down through 36.70, that's going to be like, watch out below. Right now, we're kind of stuck in this red consolidation box that we've had for months now. Just stuck in it. We got to break up out of it and get out to break out. So that's the big purple line. We got to break above it to see higher prices. We've been there once, twice, 3 times. Is this the 4th visit? Or do we come up short, or do we just break on out? I'm kind of leaning toward break on out. If you've been following me for a little bit, you know, I feel like we need to suck some of the money back in that's on the sideline. So right now, that's kind of my primary view. But like I said, we're stuck in this red consolidation box that we've had on the chart since September. And we made it with this bounce right here. Came down, bounced up, that created this red box, and we're having a little bit of trouble getting out of it. So right now, that's what we got. All right. Disclaimer is, if it's still showing for you, it's stuck because I have it, all my live views show everything else going on here. So, all right. Moving on. Let's save that chart and switch back to my normal view. Has XSP, which is just micro or mini S&P 500 index. If you're not familiar, you can trade that. You can trade options on that. You can't actually buy it or sell it. You can trade options on it. And it has favorable tax benefits for U.S. taxable accounts. So popping over, just like if you were trading futures. So right now, we tried to break out on the daily futures chart, and we came right back down to the roadmap line. This is the consolidation zone that we've had cooking for a couple weeks now. Haven't broke out, haven't broke down. Tried to break out, but just got slammed right back in here. This was Jerome Powell came out last week, said we're going to slow down on the rate raises. Pretty much confirming that next week when they do the FOMC meeting, we're going to see a 0.5% rate raise instead of a 3/4 point, just a half point. And the market got a little excited, and then it retraced the whole dang thing. So what's next? Well, we've got to hold right here and start moving up to see higher prices. If we start breaking down below 3,900, it's not going to be conducive for higher prices into the end of the year, at least not for the next couple weeks. So, but the FOMC can change everything, so we'll see what happens. Nasdaq didn't even get up into the roadmap line. That's just a bummer. Still consolidating in its range also. So everything's kind of made this range at this point. Consolidating in the range. Got to get some energy and break out. Russell pushing lower. This is not a good sign for Russell right here. This could be the final flush out right here because this did a lower high and a final flush. This could be the tell that this is it. So keep an eye on this. If this turns green and breaks back above the roadmap line, probably going up. That's small caps right there. So how would you trade Russell? IWM is the ETF. We have SPY, QQQ, and IWM. Those are the ETFs that are traded on the exchange. Oil making a lower low today. I said it might push on down into the 70 area. Well, that seems to be what it's on a path to do. And we do still have this target down here hanging out around 67, 68 that we might go down and visit. So that target's still hanging out there. And for everybody that goes and buys gas, we're 15 cents, well, even less, 12 cents away from hitting my $2 target. So anybody out there that thinks I don't call targets, well, when did we call that one? All the way back here in September. I said it was going to look better if we moved down to this $2 area. That's where I set my alert. And potentially even $1.89, $1.90. We'll see if that plays out there. Good for everybody that buys gas. Of course, you got all the taxes that run this thing up into the $3, $4 price point. I think my dad actually said Sam's Club had gas here in Knoxville for $2.80 something today. So not too bad. Natural gas taking a hit. That was not too good. Gap down and then pushing lower today. This is a deep retrace for natural gas and not very conducive. We need to hold this 786 level. Otherwise, we start tomorrow. If we close down below that, it's looking like we're going to make a new low on natural gas. So that'll be the probably if we get another daily move down again, it's going to be my exit for UNG. Less than I was hoping for. Still profitable on my entry though. Gold, trying to break higher, but not getting there yet. So this hasn't made 5 waves. That's only kind of like a slappy 3-wave up so far. Still waiting for more on gold. Hey, 255 in Georgia. That's nice. All right. SLV. Hey Ray, glad to have you. Glad you're new. I've only been doing this guru, web show thing for a couple years now. Before that, I've just been a trader all my life. So I met some people in 2020 that encouraged me to do this on my own, and in 2021 they helped me get started. So Ray, glad to have you. I'm kind of like most of y'all out there, just been trading a long time, trying to figure some stuff out and learned a few things and trying to help everybody else. So you want to see SLV and GLD? Let's go for GLD first. Looks a lot like the gold chart, trying to break out, but hitting resistance on that prior high over here. They're rejecting it. So we got to watch out for that. And then SLV, looking a little stronger. Definitely. This one has a potential 5 waves up. At this point, and what I'm going to have to see, well, we have a bigger 1, 2. That was a 3-wave though. A little bit sloppy. This has a nice move right here. If we can come back right to the roadmap line, hold support, and then start breaking higher again, I'm going to be all over SLV. I do have a position on it, but it does expire soon. It's been a long-term leap hold that expires in January, I think. So I haven't really talked about it because I've had it since before I was a guru, I think. All right, you want to look at... We'll look at a few other things here in just a minute. Let me get through the rest of it. Crypto. Let me touch briefly on crypto. I think I scrolled the wrong way for crypto. There we go. Bitcoin. That's Bitcoin USD, or Bitcoin Ethereum, I mean. We had 6 days consolidation at a very tight range. That's almost 6 candles, the exact same right there. This is unusual for Bitcoin. Bitcoin does not usually do that. So I'm looking for a break up or break down. If we break down, we're probably going to make another lower low. If we break up, we could get back up into this consolidation zone right up in here. All right, so that's kind of the tale of 2 paths for Bitcoin. We either make a lower low or we take off. All right, moving on. All right, I saw some requests way early here. Let's go with Tesla. That's been heartbreaker. Looks like we're going down to this. We're going to retest this zone. That's what I said last week, and I'm still sticking on my guns here. This is a downtrend, and I'll be surprised if we don't come down here and test this 130, 150 zone. We could just bounce off top of it. We could test the bottom of it, but I'll be very surprised if we don't make a final push down and test that zone down there. I know somebody's going to ask about Apple. That holding below the roadmap line sets it up to go lower. This would be the target down here. If it, yeah, I do have some 180 calls. I was really hopeful for a pop into December, but that's just not shaping up right now on Apple. So might be a loss on that one and a crush down through here into the new year for Apple. So be careful if you're looking long on Apple. All right, then MSTFT is another popular one, bouncing off the roadmap line, also not looking great. Tech, a lot of not really bad, but just not great charts on tech. Amazon, 3-wave retrace. This one holding a higher low so far. Hadn't even gotten up to the roadmap line though, so not looking great there either. And I saw news Meta was down 7% today. Is that true? Let's see. Yeah, about 7%. 6.79. Is Meta done? This looks a lot like Amazon, actually. Oh, I meant to compare those. Not like, let's lay Meta over Amazon. Yeah, real similar there. Look at that. Been doing a lot the same crap there. Depends on where you line them up. Let's see. Let's start back at. November-ish. Meta definitely outperforming. Roll back to the summer here. End of the summer, August. Meta outperforming a little bit and just kind of. Yeah, they're kind of hanging the same pattern. Look at that. Like, so. Risk off for Meta and Amazon. All right, close that off. And check out Netflix. Netflix, see, they're kind of turning around a little bit. They made their bottom back in May. Kind of messed around, farted around the bottom, showing good earnings. Good earnings. Earnings beats, I guess, yeah. So, a little bit positive there. We still need to break above that gap down, like that big gap down from early in April when everybody was like, oh, Netflix is losing subscribers. Well, we're about to test that. So if we can break back above that area right around 335, that can be positive. Maybe we'll go up and test this gap down up here from the beginning of the year. All right. Zoom. I Assuming you were asking for zoom, zoom looks like it's zooming down. Where's the bottom? Well, it's right back where it started, back here. So looks like it might try to make a lower low than the IPO. And push down through 60. That would be my guess right now. Why do I say that? IPO stocks, if you've never heard this before, IPO stocks all start out in a bearish pattern. Now, this one, you could argue, looked like a bullish pattern, but it's probably going to make a lower low before it can actually go higher. Most things, like we're talking like high 90%, something like that, of IPOs will make a lower low before they can really establish an uptrend. Now, this was probably the hype on COVID as we know it, and this is the correction for that, taking it all the way back, and we'll probably see a lower low before, lower low than back here or back here, before we can actually get started on zoom going up. So happens over and over. I mean, look at coin right here. This is another one I've talked about how it's making a lower low. BYND, that's another one. Just been on a downtrend since the IPO here, well, spike and then lower low than the IPO. So it happens over and over. All right, went through Apple. Yeah, seasonal strong for Apple, but something else going on. All right, Boyle. I don't like the leverage ones, but we'll talk about it. And it's basically like the natural gas. I mean, that's, except UNG is really my favorite one on that one, and it still looks like crap right now. So got UNG, Boyle, LNG is another one, and that one, they are an exporter of natural gas, and they're kind of rocking, even though their export facility is still offline. It's supposed to be coming back online, and that may get them rocking here. So Mara is pretty much farting around here at the bottom. Let me zoom it up here. Zoom up, zoom up. Now we have the low from back here, and if we break that, then we're going down, probably visit 5, maybe even 4. Yeah, other ones that are on that list, let's see, Hut. Yeah, Mara, Hut is lower low already. Riot is lower low already. So not good for the crypto miners. They all did their numbers on Bitcoin staying at 35,000. You can see where we are on Bitcoin, 17,000. That's like a little less than half of what they needed, what they did their numbers on, their financing for all their crypto miner expansion. All right. So this is kind of hurting. Like one block of Bitcoin right now is only getting you a little over $100,000. The positive sign is, though, we are like 15 months out, 16 months out from the next halving event. That's good and bad. That the halving event instantly doubles the opportunity cost on Bitcoin, but at the same time, it cuts the amount of Bitcoin you get paid for mining a block in half that day, like that block. So that's estimated to occur in March of 2024. All right, moving on. Touch on this real quick. DXY. We have broken below the roadmap line. We may come back up and retest it, and then I expect to push on down a little bit. And it's funny enough, we hit the 1618 and stopped right there. Fair enough. If you're interested in playing DXY, UUP be a way to play if we're going to go on down. So, all right. Let's see. I see TMF. Yeah, I'm not going to do leverage stuff on Treasury bills, but that looks like a bearish pattern until it breaks above 12. Not much to work with right there. It's just we're just doing this same thing again. If you drew this on here, copied it over or moved it down right here, See if we could push up to, say, 1021 potentially before we saw the next leg down. All right. I should update those to back to my blue ones, right? Blue, back to 20%. That, yeah, there we go. There we go. So we're almost up there on TMF. All right, moving on. Wheat. So wheat, fundamental story for wheat. Yeah, this making a lower low. That's not cool. Part of the fundamental story is that Ukraine came in and was able to harvest 90%, 90 to 95% of their grain that they had planted, even despite the war. There's just a little bitty section right around the front lines that wasn't able to be harvested. But 90 to 95% of Ukraine's grain, or wheat, got harvested and is out there. So that is counter to what everybody expected to happen. And that could be leading to this lower low right here. Not so positive for wheat prices, but my trade's out to April, so we're just going to sit on that right now and see what happens as we get into the new year. At least I'm going to. I mean, you got to make your own choice. If you want to get out of that, get out of it. All right. Yeah, even with the war going on, so they were able to harvest 90% and get it out to the market. So they harvested it and got it out. So, yeah. You know how I found that out? It's from NASA. NASA took pictures of their grain harvest as it was happening and kept track of it. So, bet you didn't even know we kept track of stuff like that, did you? So, RTX. Yeah, that one's really working on a breakout. That was one I identified last week. Getting a retrace, heavy retrace today. Not so great. I've got an alert right there at roughly 102. If we can break up through that to start looking at a position to look for something that comes up in this 113 to 121 area optimistically. All right. Tilray weed stocks. Now this is one of those, there's a low barrier to entry to get into the weed game. So there's a lot of competitors, a lot of players, and all their charts look like crap, if you ask me. And they keep touting that, you know, the U.S. government's going to make it legal nationwide, but it's just not happening. So I'm not too big on weed right now. It's a low barrier to entry. Another one of those that when you zoom out the chart, corrective right down to the lower low. And CGC, corrective. I don't even know what's happening here. Made its low back here. Probably make another low back here. They have a reverse split yet? I don't see one. You can say what you want to about them, but not my favorite. All right, FXI. See, we touched on Netflix already. Have to rewind. FXI, that looks like it's right up into resistance. I need to see. You know, we've got more resistance right through there where we consolidated. See how long we consolidated. Push down, consolidated, push down, resistance, big down, back up in here. So got resistance from this 28 area up to this 30 area. If we can break back up through 34, that can be more bullish. But if we zoom out, check this thing out. If we really start looking at the big picture, China hadn't gone anywhere in a long time. So, not super optimistic on that one. That is one I've looked at recently. And Sober, SOBR. That looks pretty bad. That not even gonna lie, there. That looks pretty bad. Looks like it's dead to me. All right. I did RTX, did sober. PDD is another. I have a personal thing against China companies. Every time I get hyped up on a China company, get in on it, I get screwed. To put it lightly. So PDD went on a monster run back here, and while it could do so again, I'm probably not messing with it. But resistance right in this zone from the way down, so be careful. It can bounce down from there again. Let's see. BABA is another one. BABA. See, right to the roadmap line. Can push lower again. There's a lot of dumpster fire companies out here. Yeah, sure they make money, but how do you know? Or that says standardized. They lost $1.13. Reported they made $1.81. Sounds like typical Chinese crap to me. So. China is not held to the same accounting standards as the U.S. NVIDIA, stuck in that range. I have that range I talked about last week being about $1.45, and on the upside, $1.73. Until it breaks up or down, I just expect more of this. All right. Rig. Where are we at? 525. Yeah, it's I don't know the particulars of rig as far as what type of transocean equipment they are. It looks like contract drilling. I do know that there is a run on oil tankers right now. There is a whatever the opposite of a run on cargo ships right now. So Russian oil price cap has created an opportunity, and a lot of people are going to try to bank Russian oil until the war's over, and then they can sell it on the open market for a higher price. That's the plan. I've seen it on several different sites. So oil tankers and storage facilities for Russian oil are starting to be a hot commodity, because they capped that Russian oil at $60 a barrel. So really, that's probably where U.S. oil is headed, is $60 a barrel. Why? It's just the way the market works. So TLT could be on an upward path, but we don't really have a pullback. We have 1, 2, 3 that's getting extended right up into the roadmap line. I would be careful. There's probably going to be a reaction and a retrace from this point back down. Roughly, yeah, I drew that almost perfect. So back down that 98 area. If it holds that and starts up again, that would be the long for a potential. Let's draw this on here. Oh, right in there. Man, sometimes I'm good. All right, right in this zone would be my target on a TLT long. All right. Now, USO is not going anywhere until oil does. Probably going lower. I don't have the same pattern drawn. USO is a derivative of oil, and like I said, when I kind of kick this off, I have a target down here around 67 on oil. So if you pop 67, 68, come over onto CL1 exclamation point on TradingView and set your alert around 70. We get down to that level, then start looking at USO, UCO. UCO is my favorite way to play oil. You can see it's still riding that trend line down. Probably gonna, Oil itself, CL, has made a lower low, but UCO has not. So probably going to see this one drip on down just a little bit. All right. Yeah, covered spine, covered all those GS. So we can pop over and hit that one. Yeah. Pulling back a little bit. I thought it would extend, but it didn't. So you can almost pull these down. I think eventually it's probably heading up here, but right now it looks like it's going to retrace to the roadmap line. Somewhere right around there. All right. Dave? Looks dead to me. RNA? That one looks pretty bad too. One word of caution though, my techniques of technical prediction don't work the best on biotechs. It's the one exception. The randomness of the drug approval, disapproval crap that happens with the FDA. It turns out it doesn't work so good with technical analysis. So take that with a grain of salt. We can have a great technical pattern going up and then some drug get not approved and they blow everything out. So be careful on biotechs. I'm trying to use my process. Google, that's kind of the path right there. Nothing really changed so far. Zoom up on it. Everything I said last week, which that's where that chart came from, holds true. Found a little resistance right there. Couldn't hold on to it. Still looking for it to get to the roadmap line. And if it can break above, it should do this. If it cannot, it will probably go down again. All right. Yeah, so on GS, the place, that's going to be down here around 345, potentially. If it gets there faster, it'll be a little lower, 340, 345. I would definitely watch for it to bounce, not just keep on trucking. So be careful on that. Cost? Yeah, we could sit here and take requests all night, I'm sure. I'm going to have to cut this off here in a few minutes, though. Consolidating. Tighter range. Big range, lower high, higher low, lower high, higher low. Watermelon seed squeeze is what I call that. Eventually it's going to pop. Up or down, I don't know. If it breaks down, down she goes. If it breaks up, up she goes. Didn't do that, so turn those fib lines off because we held the 618. We held the 618. What next? So I don't have no big prediction on that yet. That's a pattern for an explosive move. I just don't know if it's up or down. Potentially down based on the big down first move, but I'm not entirely sure. AMD broke down today below my alert. Needs to hold right here where it is at 70 and run up through the roadmap line. Otherwise, it can head back down and retest the lows. I had a target down here at 35 that it didn't, it chose to hold support here. So the next line down is at 35. If we break down QCOM, all right. Yeah, looking like a downtrend to me. That one, usually that one and Apple kind of run in the same trend. So if Apple's in a downtrend, QCOM's going to get take a downdraft. BA potentially breaking out. This is positive. One positive sign here. That move right there, break up, retest. Potentially a good sign. We do have this longer term trend that we've got to confirm and break on through. So getting up above 200. Where does 200 come from? Check out this right here. I drew that sloppy. Right in there. Where this support was. This resistance was. We break up through that 200. Can we game on 4? Boeing. Otherwise, we hold that line. We can still make a lower low. It's been in a downtrend for a while. Yeah, it's trying to move up. We need to get above 200. That's the big, to me, that's the bigger number here. Break this up, you know, this downtrend that we're at right now, back above 200. It's kind of like you could cautiously, aggressively enter on a move up through 180. Be careful on what happens at 200, but then you could keep riding it if it keeps going. So I would definitely chase that up with tight stops though. So it starts rolling back down through 170. We're probably heading on back down. All right, square. Get a little retrace. This one has to get zoomed up to really see the action here. So we've had a nice move up, found resistance at that previous consolidation from all the way back over here. Came down, held an echo of a pattern here, and just kind of reset it with a higher low so far. We start breaking a lower low. I have alert right there. What price is that? 59.97. We start breaking 59.97. That's below this prior low. Not so good. If we can move on it back up, that is positive. So I went through NVIDIA and AMD, BTU. I do have some shares of that. Looking for a move up to $36 area is my alert to sell that. I have shares bottom at 29. I think it was 29. No, 20. I bought them at 20. Yeah, I bought them at 20 back here. Holding out for 36. Thought we were going to break out last week, then it retraced. Looks positive though. Looks like we're going to get to 36 at least. And the fib line's up here at 37.55, but I'm gonna step off at 36. FNGU looks pretty bad to me. Split 1 for 10. Splits, reverse splits, are not typically bullish for things. This is a leveraged ETN, FANG Index 3. And this whole like FANG Index 3X leverage ETN blah blah blah. It sounds like Danger Will Robinson to me. I'd be careful on that. A tech can catch up, but danger is what that all that junk says. Make sure you go read the prospectus. ULTA. And we're at 40 minutes in. Ulta's at the target. Be careful right there. It went right up where I thought it was going to go. And put 2 fib lines up there. So be careful. That can be it. But it also could run up to this $500 area. So make sure that you have a tight stop on that puppy. We can see that. That's a bright spot in retail and a bright spot in the economy right there. So be careful on that because it can also retrace right back down here. All right. GSK, GlaxoSmithKline. Is that right? GlaxoSmithKline. Nice break up today. Need continuation. This line over here is going to be the resistance though, long term. Has that gap down, it needs to work its way back up through. Double gap down. It's like gap, gap. Almost made it all the way to the top today. Break back up through that can be positive for GSK. KR and Kroger. Not positive. In that's a downtrend. Hate to break it to you. And we're below that. Looks not so hot. All right, Google. I tend to chart GOG, GOGL. I mean, the chart's almost the same. And really, I think as far as a trader, it just depends on. I mean, you got $97 there and $97 there. Take your pick. Flip your coin. Somebody would argue that Class A shares are better than Class C shares. They tend to hang out right at the same price. So as a shareholder, you get basically the same advantage. I don't think, I mean, unless voting matters to you or something like that. General Mills hitting the target with an extension target. Rocking off of that move. Definitely watch out for a retrace. Caution, caution, caution. It is likely to do that. I mean, it does that. Like, look, I mean, hit that target, pull back. Hit that, came up, pull back. Hit that target, pull back. It did that twice. See, it did. Hit that, pull back, went a little higher, pull back. Hit that, pull back, hit a little higher, pull back again. Hit this one, then we pull back to here. Run back up, pull back again. Be careful. GIS. Kellogg's. Not looking as hot there. That's not a big uptrend yet. So be careful. Hit the 618. We could retrace one more time before we can get the strength to get out of this funk. And Macy's, working on it. I do own some Macy's. I own mine from, I want to say 26. I rode this whole thing down and back up. Still underwater. Looking forward to break on higher. They do pay a nice dividend here. So it's not spectacular, but it is nice. Let's see, what is it? Yeah, almost a 3%, 2.78%. So not too bad. All right. LAC, I'm trying to get all the requests before we wrap this up. So LAC, just chopping. I mean, it went devoid of a trend and just started chopping, and this kind of looking like that watermelon seed squeeze setup a little bit right here. Be careful on this one. This one was A. This is potential B, and this could be a C down. So B waves tend to be the triangles, or the watermelon seed squeezes. If this was an A wave into it, we could see a C wave down. So what size would that be? Depending on where it breaks from. Can take it down to 4. That would suck. So I have some LAC. I don't imagine that it's going to do that, but it just could. So be careful. All right. Yeah, BSTZ looks like crap. Don't buy stuff like this. That's likely to go down more. My biggest word of warning: if you see something that looks like that, don't freaking be buying it. Like, that's, wait till it does something like, I mean, Square at least. For the people that are in like echo trades and stuff, this thing moved off the bottom and it's holding higher lows here. All right, that's why I'm somewhat interested in this one. But and Amazon, like, I'm somewhat interested in that one, except it's looking like it may retest the bottom. Not so great. You know, Apple at least. I mean, we're up here, not down, not farting around down here. So this one may roll off though, so be careful. Let's put the right color arrow on there. So be careful on that one. All right. Take a couple more and I'll wrap it up because this has been 45 minutes of awesome instead of just 30. IG. Now that looking okay. We do have that big gap down we got to fill. This guy right here, watch out. Just coming up in the top and the bottom of it. Got a ways to go. That can all be resistance to work through. And it's low price, so low price stuff is sketchy sometimes. Hate to break it to you, lucky luck. You can make a bunch of money on low price stuff. Oh, you want to know? Here's one. This one looked really cool on Sunday. Yeah, still looks really cool. Check this out. I did not buy this yet. If you were on the roadmap line, the roadmap watch list alert. So this one right here has opportunity. I was gonna buy some of this. I totally forgot till just now. This thing moved up, retraced, held above the roadmap line here for 7 days now, 7 trading days. Now a break up through this alert right here, 465, can take us back up to 11. So look at that. That's almost a 300% gain on shares, a little over 200%. But if it breaks down, I would stop out at like 350. So 25% risk for a potential 300% upside. And 12 would be my ideal target up here. So, all right. I just said, you break up through 465 or so. That's looking good. You could buy it now and just, buy it at 4. That's 65 cents less. I would stop out at 350. This is one that I was going to buy. I just forgot. I set my alerts even, and it never hit either alert. So it's a buy above the roadmap line. It starts breaking down below the roadmap line. I would not buy it. Opens down here at 350 tomorrow. Forget this thing. Like, walk away. Don't think about it. It has a very nice potential. This is a proportional 3-wave retrace right into the roadmap line, holding the roadmap line. This was a beautiful potential setup. Beautiful risk reward just for straight shares. I wouldn't even put leverage or anything on it. So, all right. CAH, yeah, that's reminds me of a lot of healthcare. Healthcare been rocking pretty good. Probably extend up to this 83 area before the next major retrace. Could get as high as 88, but be careful. Watch out. That thing needs a little bit of a retrace. I did this one back here in April, May. Can get another one like that. Let's see. That would take it right back to the roadmap line, right back to the roadmap line. Just the same size. Be careful. All right. All right. That's going to wrap me up for today. So thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something. Come back next Tuesday. We got 3 of these left in 2022. And then we'll be 2023. Can't believe it. It's coming up fast. Wrapping up the last few weeks of 2022. Thanks, everybody, for